Welcome back, brave souls, to Sinister Snapshots, where nightmares come to light and darkness lurks. Sit tight as we join the Warrens on a mission to Brookfield, Connecticut, where they encounter one of their most distinctive cases. Will they be able to subdue this latest horror and bring calm once more to an afflicted family? Kindly leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our dark adventures. On July 18, 1981, in the town of Brookfield, Connecticut, Ed and Lorraine Warren are called to the home of 8-year-old David Glatzel, who is under the possession of a demonic entity. Joining them are David's parents, Carl and Judy, his sister Debbie, and Debbie's boyfriend Arnie Johnson. The home appears to have already been ransacked by a demonic attack, with the chandelier broken and claw marks scratched across the walls. The group takes a break and Arnie brings David to his room to get some sleep, just as a priest, Father Gordon, arrives. Later, David hears a pounding noise in his room, causing him to scream. When everyone runs to check on him, David emerges from the shadows and stabs Carl in the leg. Ed grabs David and gets Lorraine and Father Gordon to start with an exorcism. The demon causes more damage to the house and causes David's body to twist unnaturally. While trying to save her husband from the demonic attack, Lorraine sees flashes of demonic and cult-like visions. The demon uses David's body to attack Ed by hitting him on his chest, aiming for his heart. Arnie grabs David and talks to him, telling the demon to take him instead, and the demon agrees. Ed witnesses this exchange. The chaos stops, and David appears to be cured. Lorraine rushes to Ed's side as he loses consciousness. The Glatzels and Arnie join Lorraine at the hospital, where the doctor informs her about Ed's coma and pending tests for a conclusive diagnosis. The following day, Arnie awakens to Debbie's presence and suggests that they relocate from Brookfield, despite financial constraints. Alone at home, Arnie's perceptions play tricks, mistaking a moving cereal box for a rat. He discovers a decayed hole in the wall, followed by an eerie apparition of an elderly woman lunging at him. In the hospital, Lorraine receives a visit from Father Gordon as she tends to Ed. Recalling their youth, she recounts their initial encounter and their first kiss in the gazebo. Arnie's nerves fray at work when he encounters another spectral figure, leading to his dismissal. Returning home, he finds Debbie engaged with their landlord, Bruno Sauls. Simultaneously, Ed awakens to the presence of Lorraine and their daughter Judy by his side. He informs Lorraine that the demon now possesses Arnie. In an attempt to reach the Glatzel house, Lorraine's call goes unanswered due to Bruno's loud music. She alerts the police to intervene. Arnie's condition worsens. Witnessing an apparition of Bruno mistreating Debbie, he pursues her, imagining that Bruno transformed into a monstrous entity. Subsequently, Arnie walks down the road only to be discovered by an officer, his body stained with blood. It is reportedly stated that Arnie inflicted fatal wounds on Bruno, stabbing him a total of 22 times. During an interrogation with Arnie and Debbie, Ed and Lorraine engage in conversation. Debbie defends Arnie, asserting that he couldn't have been responsible for Bruno's fate. The Warrens collaborate with Arnie's attorney to prevent him from receiving the death penalty. They aim to establish a defense that attributes the murder to demonic possession. Arnie's case is presented in court, leading to his placement in a psychiatric ward. Ed and Lorraine review the recordings of David's possession. According to family accounts, the disturbances began 5 months prior, coinciding with the Glatzels' move. David experienced a terrifying encounter on a waterbed, prompting the demon's manifestation. During a discussion with Debbie, they discover a rug where the bed once stood, revealing decaying wood previously attributed to water damage. Lorraine uncovers a witch's totem beneath the house, suggesting cult involvement. Seeking assistance, they involve Drew in their investigative efforts. Following Father Gordon's recommendation, the Warrens pay a visit to Gassner, a former priest renowned for dismantling the disciples of the Ram cult. Presenting Gassner with a photo of the totem, they receive confirmation of its satanic origin. Gassner guides them to his basement, where a plethora of relics from the Ram cult are displayed. He recounts a chilling tale. The prosecutor involved in their conviction faced harrowing consequences, as his newborn was born prematurely with his heart exposed, and his wife later tragically took her own life. Within the psych ward, Arnie engages in janitorial duties when a neighboring patient displays signs of possession. Singing "Call Me," the same song played during Bruno's killing, the patient's behavior escalates, leading to their sedation by the medical staff. Meanwhile, Drew contacts the Warrens, urging them to venture to Danvers, Massachusetts, to converse with Sergeant Clay. The officer discloses the unsettling case of missing friends Jessica Strong and Katie Lincoln. Katie, similar to Bruno, suffered 22 stab wounds, and a totem resembling the one found at the Glatzel's residence was discovered at the crime scene. Initially hesitant to share case details, Clay relents after Lorraine demonstrates her clairvoyant abilities, compelling the officers to cooperate. Debbie and David pay a visit to Arnie, during which he recounts his unsettling experiences. David recognizes the similarities between his ordeal and Arnie's current affliction, revealing that they are both tormented by the same malevolent force. Guided by Clay, the Warrens journey to the woodland area where the girls vanished. Lorraine, compelled by her psychiatric insights, identifies the spot where Jessica began her attack on Katie. Lorraine becomes so absorbed that Ed intervenes to break her connection. In a subsequent vision, Lorraine follows Katie to a cliff where she is nearly pulled down by a demon. Ed rescues her, and Lorraine speculates that Jessica may have fallen into the river below. A recovery team subsequently discovers a body, confirming Lorraine's vision. Debbie contacts the Warrens with distressing news. The demon is pushing Arnie towards suicide. Ed advises her to alert the prison staff for Arnie's safety, but their conversation is interrupted by an eerie screech. Meanwhile, Arnie acquires holy water from a fellow inmate. When visions assail him, he creates a protective circle with the holy water. Ed and Lorraine infiltrate a funeral home to locate Jessica's body. Lorraine establishes a psychic connection, finding herself in a dark basement adorned with occult items. She encounters the occultist, who attempts to possess Arnie into self-harm. Lorraine thwarts this effort, halting the threat. The occultist animates a large corpse, prompting Ed to break Lorraine's connection. Despite their intervention, Lorraine reveals that the woman now knows about them. The Warrens convene with Debbie and Drew for further research, establishing a link between the two murders. The occultists provide totems to both victims, instigating their possessions and subsequent murders before their suicides. The curse's remedy involves destroying the altar where it originated, an act that requires the occultist to conclude the curse for her soul's sake. As Ed endeavors to uncover connections between the victims, he falls unconscious. Upon waking, the occultist projects herself to him, issuing threats. A corporal entity, resembling a naked, corpulent corpse, attacks. In pursuit, Ed realizes his near mistake in attacking Lorraine. They discern the occultist's scheme to invade their space and unearth a totem concealed in a vase amidst decaying flowers. Further investigation leads Ed and Drew to learn that Jessica acquired her totem from Fairfield University, hinting at the occultist's proximity. Meanwhile, Lorraine seeks assistance from Kastner. Delving into his basement, he unveils his secret daughter, Isla, the occultist's true identity. Kastner's efforts to prevent her from the occult inadvertently fueled her interest. He discloses a tunnel beneath the house where Isla once played, suggesting the altar's location. While investigating, Lorraine senses Isla's presence and locates the tunnel. Simultaneously, Isla fatally attacks and kills Kastner. Father Newman remains by Debbie's side while attending to Arnie, sensing Isla's presence. Simultaneously, Lorraine stumbles upon the altar's location. Just as Lorraine makes this discovery, Isla readies herself to conclude the curse. Ed races to the house to find Lorraine, but Isla intercepts him, blowing powder into his face. Ed succumbs to possession, entering a frenzied state, wielding a sledgehammer and threatening Lorraine. During this chaos, Arnie's possession intensifies, shattering windows and releasing him from his restraints. He hovers and reaches for a glass shard, attempting self-harm. Debbie intervenes, preventing Arnie's desperate act. Lorraine breaks through to Ed, emphasizing their love and its strength, in contrast to Isla's belief that love is a weakness. Ed breaks free from possession and destroys the altar, releasing Arnie from his grip. Isla endeavors to eliminate the Warrens herself, but her fate is sealed. Her demonic master claims her soul, agonizingly contorting her form until she becomes a mere vessel. Ed places the altar chalice in the Warren Museum, accompanied by appearances from Annabelle and Balak. They join Debbie at the courthouse as Arnie's trial commences. Arnie was convicted of manslaughter, resulting in a 5-year prison term. Despite his incarceration, Arnie and Debbie wed and remain married to this day. The final scene depicts Ed constructing a gazebo in commemoration of a cherished memory from their early relationship. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button so you don't get left behind when we embark on our next frightful tale.